Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another quick pick prediction video. In this video, I'll be predicting the featherweight bout between Julian Erosa versus Fernando Padilla. Now, how I see from right here is I'm going low confidence Julian Erosa. Julian Erosa should probably be average or even high confidence here, but he's Julian Erosa. He's such a wild card. Like, I feel like all things been said. Padilla, I'm like what I'm hearing from the younger fighter. But so far, his body of work does not merit anything to lean behind him. Like, unless he's gonna have this overnight shift, like, oh, this guy's about to. And also, he's debuting. So a lot of these a lot of these debuting fighters have not been coming through and looking miraculous. Like, especially if they aren't already showing miraculous abilities, they definitely not showing them in their debut in the UFC. And even if they are showing them, a lot of times the darker side of their skill sets was not being shown. Like, the weaknesses of theirs are being exposed in their debuts. So it's like really no good reason to lean to these dogs, especially to these debuting fighters. Like, especially if they're only a small dog. If they're like maybe like a plus 900 or something like that. Like, hey, what's gonna hurt to maybe do whatever $10 and turn that to 90 potentially? Ain't gonna hurt too bad. But trying to, I don't know, 100 to win 100 or 113 or something like that to win something, like, yeah, these little kitties, these little debuting fighters ain't really worth throwing that money on. They really ain't worth leaning to for prediction wise or money side. So yeah, it really ain't worth it. But yeah, Padilla, I think the biggest thing I like about him is his mindset. I like that. I feel like he got a decent offense. I feel like his jiu-jitsu might be his most. Well, I think it's not even underrated. I think most people already know that his jiu-jitsu is his strongest part. But yeah, he'll bring he'll bring the fight. That's one thing good about. He'll bring the fight. His hands might not be the most technical, but he'll bring the fight, and he can hold his own in the fight. He's good. He's scrap ready. He's scrap ready for sure. He's a scrap ready fighter. He got good BJJ, decent hands, but not really he don't really have the power. And that's like, if you're gonna lean to a fighter that's like him in this one, you had to see more from the power. You got to see more power from him, because when you look at Julian Erosa, when he typically loses by knockout or resulting from getting hurt, that's typically how he loses. It's not like Padilla has really shown great offensive takedowns and controls. Like, more so, people kind of try him on the ground, or maybe he's aggressive, then they end up on the ground, and then in like a scrambling situation, then he'll tap him out. It's not really most times the case him take you down, and then slowly taking you back or something, or craftily taking you back. He's not really the offensive grappling killer, like he's going for the takedown. He's more so just a scrapper. If it ends up in the ground, he'll scramble and get a submission, like, type of guy. And again, not really that power. He don't really hasn't really shown that power, and that's where you typically beat Erosa, or where typically Erosa loses, because for his chin. Then, like, again, Erosa's a scrapper as well, and he was just coming off one of the better streaks of his career, and he just lost another guy who's just like him, kind of a hot and cold fighter, but an experienced fighter just like him, been around the blocks, skill, solid everywhere, but has a tendency to dip off in Caceres, and Erosa has a tendency to dip off, but his dip off is typically getting caught, just like he got caught in the Caceres fight. And I just don't feel like Padilla really follows that blueprint. But again, it's Erosa, anything can happen. But I'm gonna lean to his veteran experience. I feel like he can scrap. And again, I don't feel like this kid has that firepower that typically you need to, be a issue for Erosa. So I feel like Erosa should be able to outwork him. I feel like he's far more technical, far more experienced, far more skilled. Whatever grappling Padilla has, it hasn't been an issue where Erosa has had issues with grappling too much. It might be like one or two occasions, but it's not a theme in Erosa's career for, like, oh my gosh, he gone in there with a grappler. That's gonna be such a big issue for him. Unless they're like some super stud, maybe a Grant Dawson. I don't know if he fought him or not. I think he did fight Grant Dawson. He actually put up a good effort against Grant Dawson. But yeah, so yeah, it's not really typically that's his biggest issue. And this guy's not no super stud grappler, definitely not offensively, not no heavy-handed fighter. He'll bring a scrap, and a scrap, anything can happen. That's about the issue, why it's low confidence. But again, Erosa should have more power. He should be more technical and more technical in the striking. And overall, as a fighter, he's the more technical fighter. And then in any grappling situation with Padilla, I feel like he should be more than comfortable there. Matter of fact, when you put it in the MMA setting, he should be able to like land ground and pound, be able to bully the younger fighter, and then be able to find advantage in the grappling, through the fact that you can throw punches, and the fact this is not a grappling setting, this is an MMA, and it's not like it's a fight. It's not a grappling session, it's a fight. So, but I'm gonna go Erosa. It's gonna be a scrappy fight. Padilla gonna bring it, but I just think Erosa is gonna be too skilled, too big, too man for him, and I think he's gonna TKO him in the second round. But it's gonna be a fun fight as long as it lasts. But I think the veteran should be able to beat the young up and comer here and get it done in the distance. So in this one, I have Julian Erosa via second round TKO.